Hello, and welcome to a very special episode of Thorpe Talks. I am Jason Thorpe, Mr. Thorpe to some. Now, I have a real doozy for you today. After my last video on tips for learning, people have been asking for more of the mystical magic power stuff. So today I am going to bring you some ancient voodoo magic. This is a secret that I bring you from a dead man. This man died a long time ago, and he died to protect this secret. A secret so controversial that in the year 399 before Christ, the Athenian court ordered this man's execution. He was given a choice: take back what he said, admit himself a liar, or he would be required, demanded, to drink a cup of lethal poison, hemlock. And he did. The powers that be may have stopped his message then, but they could not erase it entirely from history. Today's video is proudly sponsored by, and in honor of, the father of Western philosophy. Give it up for the man, the myth, the legend, Socrates! Wow! Yes. Now, for those in the know, you could study the life of Socrates for years and years. This is a 10-minute video, so do allow me to simplify things. Now then, onto this special secret, I will jump right in. Father of philosophy, most influential philosophy of his is this: all I know is I know nothing. All I know is I know nothing. Let that sink in. I know it's another paradox. Write it down, take notes maybe. What do we think this means? All I know is I know nothing. And keep in mind, I can say that if I know nothing. The implication is that neither do you. None of us do. Okay, what are some ideas? What does it make you think of? Yep. The more I see, the less I know. Yeah, that's another great quote. I would relate that. The more I see, the less I know. So that's like, compared with everything that there is to know, right? Maybe we know a tiny small chunk. So practically speaking, we know nothing, compared with how much there is to know. Yep, that's a useful way of looking at it. You see my notes here. Yep, okay. Well, there are some things that we just don't know and never will know. Yeah, absolutely. For example, what happens after death? I mean, we can say that nothing happens after death, but we can't know it. Also, I feel like things are even worse in our times because of science and technology, giving people these feelings that we really do know everything. But there's always limitations. The Big Bang, okay. Before that, like, there are things that cannot be known. So this statement from Socrates is more a comment on knowledge itself. So we'll talk about knowledge. There are 3 different levels of knowledge. Okay? Let's say 1, 2, 3, and I'll go from lowest to highest levels of knowledge. So the first level of knowledge is subconscious knowledge. You might call it instinct or innate knowledge. For example, I'll use a spider, for example. A spider has this knowledge of how to weave a web. Marvelous feats of construction, a spider's web. Did they need to study geometry, engineering for that? No. It's a part of them. They know how to do that. So that's one example of knowledge, subconscious knowledge. You don't have to learn it. Okay. The second level is intellectual knowledge. That is things that we come to understand through reading, mainly, other ways as well, but for example, you can read a book about history and you can learn about that period of history, but you were not alive in that time. You did not see things with your own eyes. You did not hear the sounds, smell the smells. And so even then our knowledge is somewhat limited. And this intellectual level is what we tend to look at as being smart. Someone who can understand things fairly quickly through reading. The third level of knowledge, and the highest level of knowledge in fact, is experiential knowledge. And that is knowledge that we gain through experience. So the difference would be like reading a travel guide about a holiday destination, Japan. You can read a travel guide about Japanese culture and you can learn that and you can understand that and you can know things about the culture and know what they do. But it's a completely different story to go to that place and experience it firsthand, right? That's the experiential knowledge. And that's the most powerful. And that's more what wisdom is. Someone smart we can picture like me, someone young, wearing glasses. Whereas someone wise typically is old. That's because they have lived for a long time, had many experiences, and thus have significant knowledge about life due to experience. What a crying shame I feel the aged population today, because of technology and TikTok, let's say, Kids know how to use this stuff, and adults or older don't have a clue. And that makes old people look ignorant. But they're really not. I encourage you, young ones, teens, talk to your grandparents and learn as much as you can from them, because what they can tell you is a lot better than what you're seeing on TikTok and stuff. Now let's see. Right. Yes, I've made a note here to talk about Sonder. Look it up. Sonder. Sonder. Sonder describes the profound realization that in everyone else's head is an entire universe of experience and perception that is different from yours, and that other people's lives are far more complicated than we give them credit for. This concept is about recognizing that you have your experiences which you learn from, and other people also have different experiences. They can conflict with yours, but that doesn't make them wrong. Now, to circle back to Socrates, all I know is I know nothing. Yeah, another way. All I know is what I know. Right? I know what I know. Shh. And other people can know different stuff. So then, what does it mean to know something? Isn't knowledge supposed to be about truth? Isn't knowledge supposed to be about facts, certainties? What we do, I believe, is that we confuse knowledge all the time, and we confuse knowing with thinking and with believing. A lot of the time when we say, oh, I know this. Actually, you don't know it. You think it. It is the most likely explanation. Doesn't mean it's knowledge. What I want for you is to take this ancient voodoo magic. Say to yourself, all I know is I know nothing. This might be confronting at first. You might take great comfort in the things that you know. You might take pride in the things that you know. But this is an exercise in humility, and it ultimately connects us more to have this view. For me, this view provides freedom and comfort. And isn't it perfectly obvious if you just look at the world? If people knew stuff and people know stuff and have known stuff for so long, why the hell is there so much disagreement? Every single country in the developed world is basically divided 50-50 on what's the right thing to do for politics, right? 50-50 split. Conservative or liberal? Where is the knowledge? You tell me. Because if there was knowledge, then surely everyone would go for that, right? So everything starts making more sense when you stop just taking people's beliefs and thoughts as knowledge. You don't have to believe what other people tell you. You are within your rights to question, to doubt, to research. Are we understanding where I'm coming from here? Like, this idea is so powerful that Socrates was executed by the state, legally assassinated, cancelled. Unfortunately for Socrates, he didn't use Twitter or Instagram or YouTube. He just talked to people, so they couldn't just shut down his social media accounts. They had to kill him. That's how powerful this idea is. And in essence, it allows you to actually be an open-minded person, to have an open mind that is capable of changing perspective. So don't get it twisted. It's not for you to give up on learning because knowledge is pointless. It's for you to work harder in pursuit of knowledge and the truth. The truth about what is right and what is wrong, good and evil, is very clouded. And after 2,500 years, this idea from the father of Western philosophy is no closer to realization than in his own time. Approach your learning with this sentiment that you know nothing. Then there is everything to learn, and you will be the one who learns the most. I am here to walk with you on this path. My respect and my thanks for watching this video. Please join me next time as we journey far to the east to uncover an ancient Chinese secret and find the balance in all things. Take care out there. Cheers. Principles.